Stage. There we go. All right, so we're up and running, and we're in. There's 2 people watching. That's 2 people on X and nobody on YouTube yet, and this isn't on Instagram yet. So I don't know why this isn't on Instagram. Maybe there's a problem with Instagram. So I'm just trying to figure out why. So I'm just going to figure out what the situation is. Maybe I have to click live. Oh, maybe I've got to do Instagram from my phone. And so Instagram from my phone, it appears. And we're going to do, yeah, okay. We're doing Instagram from the phone. And we're going to do X and YouTube from the laptop. Okay, let's rock and roll. So hopefully you can hear me on my phone. Actually, tell you what I'm going to do, guys, before we get started today. I'm going to need to charge. Look, I'm carrying 2 things around, like an absolute sausage. But I'm just going to go and grab my charger because actually I don't want my phone to die while I'm on the stream. Who have we got so far? Okay, we've got Patrini. We've got Jack from Instagram. And I can't see who we've got on Twitter yet, but thanks for joining. We'll be rocking and rolling in just a sec. It's my first time doing this, by the way. I've never done a stream to multiple platforms, so this is the first time for me. But I've got a bit of a setup going on here and some good lighting. So yeah, who have we got? So Natty's in. All right, cool. We've got some people coming in. And I just put a post out, like a story out on my Instagram announcing it, but I didn't tell Twitter, I didn't tell you guys that I was going live. And YouTube, I honestly, I have no idea because my YouTube audience, like, I don't even know what they're doing at the moment. So we'll see. We'll see if they come through. So we've got 5 people watching on Twitter, and we got about 3 people currently watching on Instagram and nobody on YouTube. So let's go. It hasn't been a total flop the first time I've done this. All right, so let's kick things off. So I've called this the Situation Room. And this is basically going to be a live stream I'm going to do at least once a week from now on. And as I stated in my Instagram story I just put out, I basically said, I'm not fucking around anymore. Like I'm done fucking playing small. I'm done like hiding and going anonymous and all that crap. At the end of the day, I've got something to share with people and I ain't gonna fucking stop. Basically, recently something happened to me. A mad situation happened to me. Crazy crisis. And in that crisis, God found me. And this isn't gonna be about God. I promise you that. This is not gonna be about God. But, and I'm sorry if the sound quality is a little bit poor on Instagram because you guys are getting probably the echo of the background because I'm streaming to Twitter and YouTube as well. So yeah, God walked into my life and I basically just decided, I was like, I'm not scared anymore. I no longer have any fear. And that means anything that I want to do in life, anything that I have been put here to do, I feel like it's part of my mission, I'm going to fucking do it. So now I don't care about how many people turn up to this stream. I don't care how many people agree with what I'm saying. I don't care if people are going to judge me and be like, oh my God, like I know that guy and what the hell, like he's doing live streams. I know what people are going to say, but I couldn't give a fuck. So if you're on Twitter listening to this, then you know that I already do this shit anyway. You're probably not surprised. My YouTube audience has never I wouldn't even expect this anyway. They just think I make videos. But Instagram, this is going to be a bit of a surprise, something different. So let's rock and roll. So today I want to talk about something that I've been sending emails about, something I call the path to sovereign manhood. But really, this is 3 steps. All right, before I even say this, okay, I know there's a lot of make money online bullshit. I've been part of some crazy fucking operations as well, where I know there's a lot of shady shit that goes on in the space. So at the end of the day, it's like, why the fuck would you listen to this guy talk about how to make money online or manhood or whatever? And if you know me, I don't need to explain my story. You know what the fuck I've done, you know who I am, you know my credentials. But if you don't know me, hopefully today I'm going to give you a little bit of context and present something to you, basically present an opportunity that I can't hide anymore. I can't keep my mouth shut about it anymore. I'm going all in. Like I said, I don't give a fuck. So here's the thing. The path to sovereign manhood is the thing I'm calling. I basically decided, who do I want to serve and who do I want to help? Who do I want to send my message to, right? It's fucking hot in here. I'm going to turn the aircon on. I'm in this fucking massive villa. And it gets hot. And it's men. So I want to help men start making 5 figures online. It's so simple. 5 figures a month online. Now, I'm not saying you're going to get there overnight, but I've created a system that honestly works better for my clients than me. So basically, I've got this system that I was using to build freedom and scale to 5 figure months for myself. And then I gave it to other people and they made more. So I was like, fuck me. All right, this works. But I doubted myself for a very long time. I was doubting myself. I had all these doubts. I was like scared of judgment. You know, business isn't always a fucking winning all the time situation. So I was doubting myself big time. It's probably why I haven't done any of these streams before, because I was doubting myself. I was like, do I really want to send this message out? But the thing is, gentlemen, we have a situation. That's why this stream is called the Situation Room. 5 people have just enrolled into Arthur 2.0, which is something you've seen me plugging all week. You've seen me talking about it. But we've got 5 people in before the doors even opened. And my inbox is basically it's getting busy now. People are interested. And yeah, something massive is happening. I'm really not I'm not launching a product here. I'm not launching a fucking program. This is a fucking movement. Like, this is something that is bigger than just making money. This is about freedom. This is about sovereignty. This is about building something of your own that fucking lasts. Like, stop playing small. And that's what this message is really about today. But I'm going to talk you through it. So most of you are probably still trapped in a system designed to keep you playing at 70%, especially if you're born into a middle-class background. If you're born into a middle-class background, you don't have the hunger to get fucking rich. You don't have the hunger to make money because everything's fucking comfortable. Everything is comfortable. Everything is fucking comfortable. I was born and raised in a middle-class family. And let me tell you this, the best thing that happened to me was when I got kicked out of my home at 17. Why? Because I realized that no one's coming to fucking save me. That actually, like, when your parents aren't giving you fucking Capri Suns, bringing you Capri Suns, and like you haven't got your Xbox there and you haven't got food just there, dinner cooked every night, actually you're pretty fucking snookered. And that is the reality of life that most people never face because they get coddled. So if you're playing at 70%, it's probably not your fault. It's actually the fact that you were born into a middle-class background, middle-class family, that you never developed the desire to make money because you never lacked it. Whereas for me, like, yeah, I never went hungry, and I did move in with my dad for a while, but living with my dad was a completely different experience than living with my mum. Living with your mum, it's like dinner's ready, blah, 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 clean your room, all of this. Living with my dad, it was like being independent at quite a young age. And he was fucking a chaotic bloke as it was. So I was forced to start thinking, okay, how am I going to survive? How am I going to make my own way? At a very young age. So yes, I was born into a middle-class situation where by all rights, I should not have had any desire to get fucking rich, to make money, to get more than what was available to me at the time. Because the reason I developed that is because I genuinely felt lack. Like I never had money. I was always fending for myself. And I never really felt that stability that a lot of people have in these in middle class situations, right? So this is what I realized. And yeah, basically being mollycoddled is one of the worst things that can happen to you. Trust me. Like, I'm so glad that I got kicked out because it taught me so much. But the point is that most of you are probably still playing at 70%. Even if you've broken the barrier and you've now stepped into entrepreneurship, you probably are still playing at 70%. And you're probably wondering why. I've stepped into entrepreneurship, or I'm ready to start a business, or I'm even in a 9-to-5 that's paying me a lot, but I still feel like I'm at 70%. What the fuck's going on? It's because most likely you were born into a middle-class situation. You never developed the hunger. I did. And this is basically where it's led me. So tonight, it's about 8 o'clock here. It's about 8:45 here. Tonight, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you a way out of this, of being in the fucking 70% club. Because it's a shit place to be. I sometimes go there. It's in my nature. Like I said, born into a middle-class situation. My whole life, sort of had all these creature comforts that I thought was luxury, actually wasn't. We weren't that rich. We lived in a good area, and we had a home, and we had PlayStations, and we had Xboxes, and we had bikes and surfboards, but like, we weren't rich at all, far from it. So I'm basically going to show you how to get out of that fucking 70% club, because that is the place where your dreams go to die. And you end up in the middle class. You stay in the middle class your whole life. You get milked like a fucking cow. You go into debt. You get taxed. You never have the drive to get out and break to the next level. At least if you were born into a poor situation, you've got that hunger and you actually want things. So for me, I've got this weird situation where I got kicked out, and that led me to fending for myself a bit more and actually realizing what it feels like to be a bit more independent at a young age, which a lot of people from my background don't receive. So I'm going to try and show you a way out. I'm going to show you a new way to think about things. So the best way to start this off is to talk about where I came from. Not my upbringing. We've already spoken about that. But 3 years ago, when I first got into online business, or first got into business, I was mowing lawns for about $30 an hour. It was about £25 an hour. I set it up with my best mate. It was actually his idea, but I had the van and the skills and everything to make it complete. And yeah, that's what I was doing. I was doing that for $25 an hour. But then 12 months later, or actually it wasn't 12 months exactly. It was about 18 months later, a year and a half later, I had my first 15K month as a creator, or as a solopreneur, you might call it, right? And the big difference was that I stopped pretending to be someone else. I stopped pretending. I stopped hiding. I stopped hiding from who I could be. Because when I was doing the gardening, it was like, oh yeah, I've got freedom. I've got this business now, and now I've got this freedom. Actually, it didn't really. It wasn't how I wanted to be making money. You don't set up a gardening company. You're not a gardener for life, trust me. Now, that's probably the same case for whatever you're doing right now. But you've got to choose an identity, really. Are you going to be an entrepreneur for life? Are you going to be a 9-to-5er for life? Are you going to be a junkie for life? For me, I was like, I'm an entrepreneur for life, but what I'm doing at any time, how I'm making the money is irrelevant. But I realized that how I was making the money was not truly aligned with what I wanted and who I was. So what was the exact moment I knew mowing lawns, rather, we set up that business so I could actually move abroad. So I was in Sri Lanka at the time, but was selling landscaping online, which was basically what I was doing, was that my destiny? And what was the moment that I realized that it wasn't? It wasn't the thing I wanted to do forever. That this business is not my forever business. This job, this thing I've built is not my forever thing. And it was really when I was in Sri Lanka and I was sat there and I was like, fuck, all I want to do is just teach people stuff. But what I'm doing is I'm basically like writing emails trying to sell gardening. Like, this does not feel that good. And so that was the moment I was like, something's got to change. And 18 months later, after posting online, mainly on Twitter, mainly on X, it was Twitter at the time, I hit 15K a month. And I was like, fuck me, like, this is where I should be. I'm home. I still doubt myself. I still doubted myself until I gave my system to other people. And then some of the results were just crazy. They blew my mind. Matt made 20K in 5 days with less than 4K followers. Connor, recently, been working with Connor. He made $13,000 recurring, well, it's $10,800 recurring revenue monthly in just a matter of months. And then Ahab, who was my first ever client, big up Ahab, he started paying off his mortgage with just 400 followers. So what's the common thread between all these success stories? Just going to take a sip of my tea. What's the common thread? The common thread is that before they met me, they didn't have a system and they didn't have belief. Those two things are the biggest fucking difference. Belief in yourself, and then you need a system. And then you need to put your belief into the system. So where are you going to get that belief from? Well, if you don't have it within yourself, even if you've got a following, even if you've got business experience, but like something's not working, chances are the system's fucked and you don't have enough belief. So you get someone, like you hire someone like a mentor, or you hire a coach, or you invest in a program. This is what these programs do. They're not scams. They really give you permission to succeed and belief. So I gave those guys belief, and then I gave them a system, and then combined, that was the most powerful, potent recipe for success. So I don't know if you guys are, how many people are here? We've got about 22 people. There's quite a few people on X right now, which is cool. But yeah, maybe just drop a comment in the live stream. Like, just drop a comment here. Like, how about type ready if you're done with following these fucking bullshit scripts. That if you're done following a script that you feel like is not yours, if you feel like you're not on a path right now that is, if you don't wake up every fucking day and go, I can't wait to work. If you don't wake up every day and go, I don't even want to go to the gym, I just want to fucking crack on with my mission. I don't even want to sleep because I want to fucking work on my mission. If you don't have that feeling, chances are you're following someone else's script. So here's what I would invite you to do. I would invite you right now to type ready into the chat if you're fucking done with that shit and you're ready to make a change. So let's talk about it. Let's have a quick tactical briefing. Tactical briefing. These are the 3 steps that when I reverse engineered my success, and then when I started giving this system to my clients, people who wanted help from me, I reverse engineered the success. And I basically was like, okay, let's boil it down to 3 steps. And I realized that it was, if you follow these steps in this order, it's pretty much impossible not to scale to 10K a month within the next, let's be reasonable, within the next 12 months. If you follow this to the letter, you can probably from 0 reach 5K a month in 3 months. Because it took me a long time to figure this out. There was a lot of pain, there was a lot of trial and error. But now I've figured out exactly how I did it. And this is what I give to everyone. And this is how Matt made 20K in 5 days. This is how Connor made 13K MRR in 4 months. This is how Ahab started paying off his mortgage. This is how Connor, a different Connor, started his business from scratch and made 8K in 60 days. So like, this is what I mean. Like, I can't even be fucked to hide anymore. Like, it's just so obvious that this stuff works. So I'm going to talk you through it. So step one, and this is I'm particularly talking to men here, but this works for women as well. You need to become a magnetic character. What do I mean? So you need to become somebody that people chase. You need to become somebody that attracts things to them, which is a cool concept, right? But once I figured out that being bold and positioning myself as the prize, positioning myself as an authority was the key to this, I got called toxic. I lost friends, but something happened. Something happened in the process. People started coming to me, people started seeking me out, and people wanted to work with me. Because of the content I was putting online, because I was telling stories, I was telling my story, I was sharing my opinions, I was being bold. And this is what leaders do. I didn't even realize I was doing it, but like, leaders polarize. So you got to be willing to push people away and in order to get people to come to you. It's almost like a push-pull. The more you push people away, the more people come. It's like displacing bath water in a tub. You get in the tub and the water overflows. It's like, that's just a consequence. It's like when you push people away, naturally others come towards you. So the number one principle here, though, above everything, is you need to become a storyteller. Steve Jobs was right when he said the most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. So here's a few questions for you. Who are you underneath the people-pleasing? What truth are you afraid to speak? Would you rather be liked by everyone or respected by the right people? Who are the right people? The right people are your tribe. They're the people that actually believe in your message. They're the people that resonate with you. They're the people that when you put out a controversial opinion or you say what you're really thinking, people go, here. Like, I'm with you there, bro. So how did I develop the courage to be disliked by the wrong people? Because there's two facets to this. There's multifaceted, but let's boil it down. Number one is you've got to be polarizing. You've got to be willing to be disliked. Number two is you've got to be a master storyteller. If you can combine those two, you are seriously winning. But how did I develop the courage to be disliked by the wrong people? And the answer is, when I was at school, I simply observed. I started thinking with my brain, and I realized that the popular kids, the kids that got the girls, the people that got the respect, the people that the girls wanted and approved of, the people that had the most power were not the people getting good grades. They were actually the people that everyone was talking about. And I realized that a lot of these people weren't liked. They were criticized often. And once I figured this out, I was in like year 10 or 11. By the time I got to year 12 and I started applying all this, I'd risen in the ranks because I was applying these observations. I was applying these observations and getting results. I started dating the prettiest girl at school, and that's not a subjective thing. She literally won an award for prettiest girl. Like it's not like I'm just saying, oh yeah, like I could be full of shit, but she literally won the award. So that was a primary benefit. If you're a man, obviously you're probably trying to make money online because you want to get some pussy. Well, it's not about the money. It's about the status. Money helps with that, though, to be honest. But yeah, that's how I developed the courage. I observed the truth. If you look, it's around you. Look around you. Look at who online right now has the most status. They're often the people that are disliked. Look at Donald Trump. He's now the president of the United States. Andrew Tate, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk. You don't have to like these people, but whether you like it or not, they are above you in the hierarchy. They're above all of us for now. So here's a challenge for you. And this might be difficult for you, but if you're listening to the stream, drop a comment down below of one belief you hold that other people would find controversial. That's my challenge to you. Can you say it in public? Can you say it on this stream? Can you say this? Can you publicly put your opinion down below? Something that you believe, but other people would call you crazy, or that's too controversial. That's my challenge to you. Drop a comment. Something you believe which other people would call you crazy for. Something you believe which people would criticize you for. Something that you believe which you know is controversial, but other people, you haven't said it out loud. That's what I'm encouraging you to do. Moving on now. Step 2. I call this getting paid to be yourself. So back when I had about 2,000 followers on Twitter, I made my first 7K month. I'd had bigger months in the past doing other businesses, but this was my first 7K month as a solo business owner, a solo creator, right? Just me. So it was 100% profit for me. No running costs, except for just some software and maybe like some memberships. But I did that with one simple offer. And we sold 7 spots in 1 week. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I have 2,000 followers, yet I've made 7 times the salary I used to get when I was in a 9-to-5 in 1 month. And then I realized what the core principle is that deep relationships are so much more valuable in business and in life than shallow connections. It was all about building a tribe. It was all about having 300 Spartans and not 1 million Persians. That was the difference. I built like a really strong tribe. And that's one of my guiding principles is it's all about depth. Depth with the right people will get you a lot further than shallow interactions, shallow relationships with fucking anyone. Like, you got to be picky, you got to be fussy, and you got to go deep with those people. And you can apply that principle across all areas of your life. Like for me, I have my circle's got smaller and smaller over the years, and the people I have in my circle I value them so much more than if I was just trying to please everyone. And I applied this same principle to my personal brand on Twitter. I've only just started really posting again on Instagram. And if you're watching on YouTube, I'm obviously back up and running with that. But that was the guiding principle. 300 Spartans versus 1 million Persians. That was what it was all about for me. And so here's a few questions for you to consider. What problem do you solve better than anyone? Who would pay you $1,000 for access to your expertise? Think about that. That's almost more important than what you offer, is who. Who are you helping? And then the third question is, what's stopping you from charging what you're worth? Whether you're in a 9-to-5 and you're not asking for that raise. Whether you've started an online business and your rates are too low. Whether you have been in business a long time, you're becoming overly stretched, and you don't have the courage to say no to people you know can't afford what you're worth. What is stopping you from charging what you're worth? That is a question that you need to figure out. Those 3 questions. What problem do you solve better than anyone? Who would pay you $1,000 to access your expertise? And what's stopping you from charging what you're worth? Figure out those 3 questions. And if you're wondering what my first $1,000 offer was and how did I price it, it was Arthur. Arthur, the thing I've been promoting all week. That was my first offer as a solopreneur, whatever you want to call it. Started out as a free community. I learned all those tricks from NFTs. We used to make, that's when we made we had a free community funnel. I didn't even realize what we were doing. I didn't even realize it was a funnel. I didn't even know what funnels were. We built this brand. We got like 3,000 people in there, and then we monetized it. We made a fuckload of money. And I used that same marketing technique with my first offer, and then a bunch of the people that were in there originally, because I'd been serving them for months. I'm talking like I was giving them free help and giving them that community for free for about 4 months. And then eventually I said, guys, this is becoming paid. Who's coming with me? And 7 people stepped up. 7 people jumped in to the paid version. And next thing I knew, boom, 7K. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was blown away. That was my first offer. In fact, before that, I'd sold a one-to-one offer for $899. I posted about it on Twitter and it went viral, and then I got 2 clients. So actually, technically, my one-to-one offer sold first, but it was only $1,700, like barely what I used to make in my 9-to-5. So I wasn't really that impressed. But it was when I sold that group offer that I started making actual real money. Problem was that I didn't manage my finances that well, so it didn't feel like a lot of money at the time. But if I was in a stronger financial position, that would have felt like a lot. Like when you're basically at 0 and you make 7K, you're like, oh shit, this is a game changer, but it's actually not. It's not a lot of money, but it broke a glass ceiling for me, let's put it that way. So here's another challenge for you. What is your expertise area? If you know it. So what is your expertise area? Type it down below. Type your expertise area if you know it, or lost in capital letters if you don't. If you don't know your expertise, type lost. If you do know your area of expertise, put that in the comment down below. Let's see how we're doing. We've still got a few people in here. It's funny seeing myself on camera like this because I'm looking at both. I've got you guys here. So there's Instagram, and then there's, which is on my phone. And then we've got the one on my laptop, which is for Twitter. And I actually like this angle here more. Like the lighting's good. So Instagram, you're getting the best feed. But yeah. All right, let's see how we're doing. I'm gonna go on to Twitter quickly and see if I can see that there's 33 people in here. There's 33 people in here on Twitter. That's wild. That is crazy. Yeah, so going well. All right, step 3. This is the most important part. So you become a magnetic character. You know you need to become a magnetic character. You need to master storytelling. You need to start being disliked, and you need to start publicly showing that. Then I told you that you need to get paid for being yourself, to actually monetize that. You need an offer. I put out a offer that was $1,000. 7 people jumped in. Next thing you know, boom, I've made 7K. Everything's changed. 8 months later, I made 15K. So shit changes fast. You need to have an offer. You know that now. You need an area of expertise. You need someone that will pay you $1,000 for it. And then once you have someone that will pay you $1,000 for it, you need to figure out what's stopping you charging more. And in that whole process, you'll discover your offer. Okay, step 3. Like I said, this is the most important part, because even if you are generating traffic, you're building an audience, people are following you because you become a magnetic character, you now have an offer. Why do people struggle to make money consistently? And this was the next roadblock I came up against after I had my big month. So I had my big month. I had that 7K month, which was cool. Then I had that 15K month, which was really good. Then I started giving this to my clients, and they started like knocking it out of the park as well, making like 20K in a matter of days. They were doing better than me, to be honest with you. That's the irony and the that's the irony of the whole situation. Why do people often struggle after that? What happens? And what happens is people struggle to scale. People struggle to keep their revenue going and keep the money big. They can't keep making big money because they don't have a system. They don't have a reliable system. So what happened to me is I had to change from trading my time for money to selling access to my expertise. And I thought I was doing this, but I wasn't. I was doing one-to-ones. I was still doing some writing as well, still doing some copywriting, like email marketing for people. I was still trading time for money, really. Like I was charging packages, but still I could have done better. I wasn't scaling the right way I wanted to. And that's when I created a system. That's what I really inherited this system. And I made it my own. Something I call the proximity tower. And this is where you start selling access to you instead of tasks. You're trading their money for access to you. You're not trading their money for you spending time doing things for them. They pay to access you. This was a big game changer for me. And I realized how the system actually works. So how the system works, I'll talk you through it. You have 5 tiers. Imagine you have a tower, right? And you're at the top of the tower. And you have this tower. There's 5 tiers. The first tier people come into is your free tier. This is your content. This is stuff like this. Tier 1, I'm not charging for this. This is $0. This is free for you unless you're paying for like a membership on X or Instagram or whatever. And this free content is what attracts people to you. You get their attention. Next, you would have something like a free or a low paid way to start converting that traffic and start sifting out the potential clients from the time wasters, because a lot of time wasters on social media, a lot of fucking time wasters, a lot of people scrolling. Followers don't mean jack shit. I'll be honest with you, they don't mean fuck all. Like, you need people that are taking the next step with you, and that will come in the form of stuff like newsletters, live streams like this, free communities, whatever you've got. Get people into a place that isn't just social media. Get them out of the scroll and into your deeper long form content. Then the third tier, you have stuff like digital products. You have stuff like paid workshops. You have things that are low cost, low barrier to entry, like a low ticket product that people pay for. And then they get introduced to you and they're paying you now. So now they're paying you. There's upward mobility happening. They're able to rise because once they've made a micro commitment to you, they watch your content, they read your newsletters, whatever it is. They then join, they then join your newsletter, or they come to your live streams, or whatever it is. And then you sell them a low ticket product, like a cheap workshop, like a workshop, or a whatever, like a digital product, a course. They're now a customer. You then turn that customer, this is tier 4, they then are moving up the tower towards you. The next tier is like a group program. So you could have a community, you could have a cohort, whatever it is. It's easier to sell those people into that once they've actually bought from you once. Next and finally, this isn't finally, you can have 6 tiers to this, but this is just an introduction to this. You then have your one-to-one services. So this is you at the top of the tower. People are now paying to have one-on-one time with you. So this is the least scalable. This is why you charge the most. Your access to you is the most valuable thing, more valuable than anything else. So realize that that's why your one-to-one has to be the highest price, because your time, like spending time on calls with people one-to-one, is not as scalable as spending time on calls in a group situation. That's why I charge more. But then they get more time with you. So really, it goes back to being the magnetic character. You need to be positioned as the prize. You need to be positioned as someone people want to get close to. Otherwise, this won't work. And then you have you at the top. If you're really fucking industrious, you then have another offer on top of that where it's like done for you services. You have like an agency. Now I've done that. I've had that as part of my tower, but then I decided, actually it's a lot of fucking work. So for me, my tower is mainly at me at the top for one-to-one. So questions you need to ask yourself, or questions I have for you. What would people pay to get closer to you? Or what would people pay to get closer to you? Next, the next question is, how could you package your expertise into tiers? I just spoke about the 5 tiers. How could you package those things up into tiers? And then finally, what's your time actually worth? Have you figured that out yet? Have you actually thought about what your time's worth? How much do you want to charge an hour? Don't be fucking realistic with this. Be unrealistic. Charge higher, because the higher you put your rate, the more value you're going to attach to yourself. You're going to start feeling more valuable. Your content's going to change. Your whole business is going to change because you actually value yourself. You value yourself. That's the key here. So what's the psychology behind why people pay more for proximity? Put simply, status. If you are perceived as high status, people want to pay more to get closer to you. And status comes in many different forms. You could be famous. You could be rich. You could be fucking cool. You could have a great story. You could have a vibe about you. You could have knowledge. You could have mastery in a certain area. Whatever it is, usually a combination between all of those is the right mix. But even one of those is enough. I have clients, people pay them mainly because they're famous. I have clients, people pay them because they're a master of their craft. I have mentors and people I've paid to get closer to because they're so good at something. They're so knowledgeable and they're so experienced in something that I don't even care what the result is. I just want to get closer to them. So that's the psychology behind it. You need status, and status, like I said, comes in multiple different forms. So pick one to fucking elevate with, and people will start to pay attention and people will start to know. And it's almost like a universal law. This thing isn't like this. Honestly, this thing isn't like just woo-woo. Like if you become a master in something, eventually people will seek you out. If you become famous, it won't take long for people to find you and want to pay you. If you become rich, it won't take very long for people to find out and want to know how you did it. If you become insanely knowledgeable at something, it won't take long for people to be like, that guy or girl knows a fucking lot. I want to get close to them. All right, probably going to rock on for another 10 minutes. I want you guys to realize your worth. I want you to realize your fucking value. I want you to realize what you're worth. So a few of you might be going, I have friends, I know people, they come to me and they say, oh, Dan, I don't have any experience. Well, Ahab thought the same thing. He had limited experience coaching. He had a certification. Boom. Within a few months, he was paying off his mortgage with his coaching income. So here's a question for you. What if your struggles became someone else's solution? That's the key. You solve your own problems and you sell the solution. People will pay a lot of fucking money to get a solution that is unique. And there's no more unique solution than your own lived experience. You take your problems you've solved and you sell that solution. So the principle here is you're always 1 to 2 steps ahead of someone. You don't have to be a 10 to teach someone who's a 3. In the words of Matt, one of my friends who I helped. Matt made 20K in 5 days. He realized that you don't have to be a 10 to teach a 3. You can be a 6 and teach a 3. The next thing people say to me is, oh, I don't have a big audience. I don't have loads of followers. Bro, I had 2,000 followers when I made 7K in 1 month. So the question I have for you is, would you rather have 1,000 disciples or 100,000 skeptics? Because that's the problem a lot of creators have. A lot of people with big audiences have. Their audience are like, yeah, I follow them, but they don't give a fuck. They don't really trust them. So the principle here is small audiences equals with a big impact. It doesn't equal big impact. You need to have the right message. You need to have the right, you need to be a magnetic character who can lead. But small audiences can have massive impact if you build the right way. Think 300 Spartans versus 1 million Persians. All right, we're still going here. Still rocking and rolling. Other people will say, I'm not ready. Dan, I'm not ready. I can't do it. I'm not ready. I'm not qualified. Matt felt like an imposter. And what happened to him? I spoke about him twice already. Matt felt like an imposter, and then he made 20K in 5 days. So the question is, when will you be ready? Next year? Next decade? Ready is a myth, bro. Willing is everything. Ready is a myth, willing is everything. Will it into existence. Use your power, internal power, to will yourself to do the thing you know you need to fucking do. So another question, what's the biggest excuse I hear and how do I respond? So the biggest excuse is usually, biggest excuse. I'm just gonna post it and then just hope for the best. No. You got to go all in. Oh no, I'm not willing to go all in. No, this is it. This is the biggest excuse. Oh, I don't want to walk away from money. I get paid well in the thing I'm doing. Doesn't matter if you have a business. Doesn't matter if you have a 9-to-5. Nothing will pay you better than the thing you are most passionate about. So you're literally cucking yourself if you don't take the plunge now. If you don't take the plunge now, the longer you wait, the more you cuck yourself. The more you cuck yourself, because you're not doing the thing you were truly put here to do. You're not living your God-given purpose, which means you're never going to make it to the top of your profession if you're not truly passionate about the thing you're doing. That's the truth. That is the God's honest truth. All right. How about we take a little look at some messages I've been getting? Should we do that? Let's do that. Okay. Just going to bring up the inbox here. Someone messaged me today on this live stream. Dan, this finally makes sense. I never understood why some creators make millions. I feel like this is the missing piece. That was a powerful message. I never understood why some creators make millions. I think this is the missing piece. Yeah. They have belief. They're a magnetic leader. They have an offer. And they have a system. It ain't that difficult. I've just laid out the 3 steps for you. Whether you choose after this to message me, DM me, ask for advice, join Arthur, doesn't matter. Whatever you choose, you now have the blueprint. Become a magnetic leader through storytelling and owning your masculine frame. So those are the 2 things about becoming a magnetic character. You need to be a master storyteller. Again, Steve Jobs was right when he said the most powerful person in the world is a storyteller. You need to master storytelling, and then you need to master essentially your frame. You are the prize. Then, following that, You need to have an offer that feels aligned, that you love selling, that matches your expertise, that is perfectly match your expertise and charge high for it. And then finally, you need a system, the proximity tower, build tiers of that offer where you can serve people at different levels and get people to fight for your attention, to get people to fight for your time. And then the more barriers you put up, the harder it is to reach you, the more valuable your time becomes because it's more scarce. Supply and demand. You have the blueprint. So here are some real-time updates. Here's what's going on right now. This is what's happening right now. Arthur is launching tomorrow. We already have 5 men who have already enrolled. Early bird is closed. You can't get the early bird discount anymore. I'm sorry, you snoozed and you loosed, if that even makes sense. And there's only 12 spots available inside Arthur, which launches tomorrow. And I'll probably do another live stream tomorrow. In fact, I'll definitely do another live stream tomorrow. You can't fucking stop me right now. I'm on a mission. It's Friday tomorrow. I don't give a fuck. I'm going in again. So I'm serious. I'm getting this message out because people should fucking join because this will change their life. There's 12 spots available. 5 are already gone. People bought in early. People got in early. So here's a question I'm going to ask myself. What's the energy I'm feeling from the brotherhood inside Arthur right now? What's the feeling I'm getting? What kind of energy am I getting? The feeling I'm getting right now is family. Family is the feeling I'm getting. The family that maybe these guys have, but there's something missing. The family maybe that I have, but there was something missing. It's like the missing piece, belonging somewhere. I was always the black sheep growing up. So this really is solving my own problem. I'm putting myself into a group where the people in there remind me of myself. And I feel like those guys feel the same. All you have to do is go onto my feed, look at a recent thread I posted on Twitter. Where is it? Did I post it? Yeah, I did. All you have to do is go onto my feed, find my most recent thread. I posted 2 today because I've been fucking busy. And then you go down to reason number 9 to join. And look at Alex's testimonial. I'll read it out. Arthur is by far the best community I've encountered in the masculine space. For months, I've struggled to fit in everywhere else. But this one is different. Dan understood me very well compared to most people. I no longer have to be scared to speak up. No more toxic BS. The people are welcoming and struggle to fit in. Arthur is definitely the big move. Just go and see that for yourself. I'm reading it out. You're probably listening to it. Go and read it for yourself. Go onto my feed, go onto the thread, go down to reason number 9. You get a brotherhood who understands your struggles and read what real people are saying. You don't need me to just fucking spout bullshit at you. Go and have a look. And if you don't go and have a look, what are you doing listening to this at the end of the day? Because you're looking for solutions, and you're looking for belief, maybe some motivation. You're going to get it if you just go and read that. I don't care if you join Arthur or not. We're going with or without you, but that's going to give you some insight into what brotherhood does for you. He's no longer scared to speak up. He didn't fit in anywhere, but this one was different. You need brotherhood, boys. You need brotherhood. Big time, more than ever. All right, here's the situation. We're about to wrap this thing up. The window is closing. Early bird's gone. Early bird is done. Tomorrow we launch. We open the doors. 5 spots are already taken for Arthur before the doors even opened. Only 7 spots are remaining. I have no idea when this is going to open again. You have no idea when this is going to open again. I have not planned the next launch. Most fucking marketers, they just launch. This is different. I don't even know when we're going to launch again. This is intimate. I want to make this this is a cohort. This isn't just an evergreen thing. So I don't have a fucking clue when this is going to open again. No idea. So if you're even remotely interested, you need to fucking act. You need to act. I honestly wish I had the next step planned out, but I don't. This is possibly the last time you're going to gain access to a brotherhood like this, and definitely at this price. If we do it again, it's not going to be this price. So you have a choice. You've got two paths ahead. Path one, keep reading about change, keep watching YouTube videos, keep listening to podcasts, keep thinking about it. Or path two, start actually living it. Take action, take risks. For fuck's sake, for once in your life, take a risk. Take the biggest risk you can and then add a little bit more risk. Because that's where you grow. That's where you find that next fucking level that, I swear to God, most people never achieve any greatness in life. They never achieve their dreams. They never make the money they want to make. They never have the partner they want to have. They never live in the place they want to live. Why? They never go for it because they're scared of failure. Well, how about this? How about instead of being scared of failure, you make the risk of failure so high that failure is no longer an option. And not only that, you make the risk even higher so that if you do fail, you feel so shit that you never fail like that again. You do everything in your power. So here's a few questions I have for you before we start wrapping this up. Which man do you want to be in 6 months' time? Think about that. No one thinks, no one uses their brain. Which man do you want to be in 6 months' time? The guy that still reading about change, still thinking about it, or the guy that's fucking living it? The guy that has the girlfriend that everyone wants, the 10 out of 10. The guy that's making 10K a month. The guy that has influencers, leading his tribe. The guy that people respect. The guy that gets on a fucking live stream like this, doesn't give a single fuck about what people think, and just does it. Do you want to be that guy? Or do you want to keep thinking about it? Another question. What's the cost of waiting for another year? Your life, time's running out. Bitcoin's just hit 100K? The ship is sailing. The Bitcoin's hitting 100K. If you haven't got in already, you're gonna struggle. How are you gonna buy it if you have no money? How are you gonna buy Bitcoin if you have no money? How are you gonna build generational wealth if you don't take a risk? Your life is literally dwindling away. I just turned 30. I'm a third of the way through my life, most likely. Could be less, could be more. I don't care. What is the cost of waiting for another year? Another year making average money. Another year trapped in 9 to 5 you hate. Another year running a business which feels like shit. Another year being invisible. Another year thinking about it. Another year stuck with a girlfriend you don't want. Another year settling, another year watching these live streams rather than going and doing it yourself. And then finally, such a simple question I have for you. Are you a reader or are you a doer? Are you a watcher or are you a doer? Are you a winner or are you a loser? Or a loser or a winner? That's what I want to know. And a question I have for myself. Why am I only taking 12 men into this? Why? Why this time? Why am I only taking 12? Because it goes back to my principles, boys. Small tribe beats a big audience. 12 disciples. Jesus had 12 disciples. I've just thought about that. Funny that I picked 12 because I've been reading the Bible like a lot. 12 is all you need. 12 is all you need. 12 is enough. I want it intimate. That's the big thing. And that's the big thing that makes this different from other offers. I was struggling with this offer at first. I was like, I want to do everything. I want to teach people how to get girlfriends. I want to teach people to be more confident. I want to teach people how to get healthy. I want to teach people how to make money. I want to teach people how to be a better man. And in the end, I came down to one core thing. And it was in the end, once I just wrote the sales page and I was writing the offer and I was building it and I was deciding what I wanted to help people with, I came back to the one thing that I am one of the best in the world at, like literally statistically speaking. I'm very fucking good at helping people make money. And I'm very fucking good at helping people make money from social media. I'm very fucking good at helping people who want to lead communities make money. I built communities for years myself. Now I'm very fucking good at helping people build their own. It's about leadership. It's about ambition. It's about purpose. It's about impact. It's about so much more than just making money, but we need to get the money right. Otherwise, what the fuck are you going to do? You have no business. So at the end of the day, guys, why am I only taking 12 people? Because we want intimacy. And that's what makes this different from everyone else's fucking program, BizOps shit, fucking make money online, bullcrap. Like, this isn't about being perfect. This isn't about learning how to make 10K a month like every other fucking, like, how many fucking courses are out there telling you how to make 10K a month? They're everywhere. You don't fucking need, you don't need that. You honestly don't need that. You've probably done it. You've probably watched enough YouTube by now where, like, you know what to do. The difference is you don't have intimacy. You don't have people around you that hold a mirror up to you and say, you can fucking do this. I've got your back. And not only that, you don't have the people in these fucking clown communities that really have the depth of knowledge that the people inside our community have. We've got Ahab, who is literally a fucking, like, this guy is basically my right-hand man. This guy is a natural born leader, and he's in there. And when we do the calls, I barely fucking speak. He is just leading the way. He's literally, so okay, 2 examples. The other day, right, we were in there, and it's a business thing, right? Like, people are there to make money. But the last 2 calls haven't even been about making money. One guy, I won't name names because he might be watching this. One guy was having trouble. He wanted to move out of his home, but he was struggling to have the conversation with his parents. He's a young dude. He's 20, right? We've got people from 20 to 35 in there. So there's an age, like, the age gap is wide, right? We're not just taking kids. We're not just taking older people. We're not just taking men of fatherhood age. We're taking, like, people from fucking school to manhood, right? And he didn't know how to ask. He didn't know how to handle this situation with his parents. So we gave him the exact playbook, and then we asked him the right questions so that he found the power within himself to go and have the conversation. And now he's about to step out into the real world and become independent, which is the best thing he can do. We solved that problem for him. Another problem we solved, one guy, he had a very difficult situation with his long-term partner. His long-term partner and him completely disagreed on something that was really, really fucking important to him. And he didn't know what to do. He's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm stuck. I've been thinking about this for weeks. I've had no one to talk to. After a bit of talking about it, we gave him a clear action plan. And he went away. What did he do? He went and implemented it. Boom. By the end of the call, he was like, I know exactly what I need to do. These are the real problems that we help you solve, which these other fucking communities don't do because they don't give a fuck about you. Whereas we're a family. That's why it's only 12 people, because we want to give people those transformations, those light bulb moments every fucking week. We don't want you to just come and listen to sermons. We want you to actually participate so that you can gain the real life perspective to go and solve real problems in your life, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you are able to solve relationship problems, you can solve business problems. If you're able to solve a problem with your health and become more disciplined, you will become more disciplined in your business. It all translates across the board. That's what we do. We do all this fucking shit. It's really fucking important. That's what we do. That's the difference between what we do and other programs. All right. I don't know who's still here. Let's have a look. I'm streaming on multiple platforms here. We have 55 people on X. We have not that many people on Instagram, but fuck it. Like, they can watch it back. So we're about to wrap this thing up. So if you're watching this and if you're resonating with what I'm saying, and if you're like, yeah, this sounds fucking cool, and if you're making under 5K a month right now, and if you feel comfortable, type down below a 1 if you're making under 5K a month. If you're making over 5K a month, give me a 2. Type 2. Type 1 if you're making under 5K a month. Type 2 if you're making over 5K a month. That's what I want you to do if you feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, that's all good. You're basically telling people how much you earn. I don't give a fuck. I'll talk about money wherever now. Like some people don't like it. I don't care. Another thing we could do is, are you stuck or are you scaling? Are you stuck in your business or are you scaling? So if you're stuck, write stuck. If you're scaling, write scaling. One, my man. Okay, cool. If you're stuck in your business, write stuck. If you're scaling, write scaling. And then I have one last one, because one wasn't enough, because I'm just pumped right now. So I'm just going to go for 3. This is an important one, because I personally I've never seen someone succeed from any of my clients. The people that always flake and bitch it and pussy out are the people that can't lead. And you don't have to be the perfect CEO. You don't have to be like Mr. CEO, Mrs. CEO. You just have to be able to create a community. So here's the thing. Are you a follower or a leader? Type that in below. Type that in the stream. Type whatever it fucking is, like hit on the keyboard. Are you a follower or a leader? What's your identity? What do you identify with more? And if you're not leading yet, but you want to be, write leader. If you will never fucking take action, then write follower. If you're like, fuck this guy, I honestly can't be fucked to listen to him, but I can't stop watching. If you're in that, if you're hating on this, if you're watching it because you're hating it, write follower. If you're watching this inspired and like, actually, this sounds kind of cool, I'm resonating with this message, like people are inside this chat right now, then maybe you're a leader in the making, or maybe you're a fucking beast already, in which case 100% we should connect either way. But I just want to talk to the leaders. I want to talk to the people that, it doesn't matter if you're stuck or scaling. That doesn't bother me. We can help you with that. It doesn't bother me how much you're making. I don't give a fuck about that. What I care about is, are you a leader or a follower? I resonate with leaders. It's my personality type. I respond well to those people. I surround myself with leaders. If you're a follower, that's cool. You can join these chats, you can listen, you can get information, but we're probably never really going to connect on a deeper level. So that's how it is. Are you a leader or a follower? Write that in the chat. And like I said, it doesn't matter how much money you're making. If you're under 5K, cool, write a 1. If you're over 5K, cool, write a 2. If you're stuck in your business or scaling, if you're stuck, write stuck. If you're scaling, write scaling. People are already throwing messages in the chat right now. It's blowing up on Twitter as well. We're on Twitter, we're on YouTube, and we're on Instagram right now. So for me, the most important thing is, can you fucking lead? Like, if you can lead, you and I are going to be friends. If you can lead, we can help you make a lot more fucking money. If you can lead, you're going to have a much better fucking life. Trust me. And you can make the transformation. But if you're a fucking bitch that refuses, like downright refuses to step up and is just hating this message because you're like, I hate talking about money. He's talking about money. I don't want to, like, honestly, like, you ain't going to make it. You are not going to make it. So I'm not elitist. I just tend to gravitate more towards leaders because I like to be inspired. I like to surround myself with people that inspire me. And that is what you get inside Arthur. You don't just get the intimacy. You don't just get a blueprint to make 5 to 20K a month. You don't just get a system. You don't just get everything you need to fucking succeed. Grow your business, get a more attractive partner, get a better body, become more magnetic, master your energy, all of this shit that just fucking makes up a beast of a human. You're also going to transform into someone that can fucking lead communities, lead your business, and fucking make shit happen. I see on the Instagram feed, I see a few people commenting. Jack, young and hung, come on. I know what Jack is. Jack knows what he is. Fucking big up the Busby bros. So I want to give a few shout outs right now. So I want to shout out to Alex the other day inside Arthur for taking action, having a tough conversation with his parents about moving out. He's the youngest guy in there. It's a tough thing, but he's stepping up. We have Mark, who just joined. Mark's been a client of mine in the past. He's now stepping up big time. And now he's literally like, he's posted like 50 times on Twitter and he's already fucking getting mad engagement. People dropping in his DMs, telling him that they love what he's doing. And then another member, who have we got? So I'm really proud of Ray. So Ray, the other day, I saw some of his content and it's fucking amazing. And he's working with the mayor of his city right now. He's the head of content. And honestly, the guy's fucking crushing it. Like, he's running social media pages for politicians. So like, these are the kinds of people that are inside, and it's fucking sick to watch people progress. I've known some of these guys a long time, and seeing where they're going is just awesome. So yeah, we're closing this thing out now. I am seeing some patterns. I am seeing some patterns in the comment section. I am seeing people engaging. I'm seeing people generally are saying that they're under 5K a month. I'm seeing that people are scaling though. Typically, I'm also seeing that people are leaders, which is good to see, because if you're not, you're honestly wasting your time here. You're honestly wasting your time here. So that's really cool to see. A few questions that keep coming up. People are asking, can they really do this with a small audience? And the answer is yes. Yes, they can. And I've seen it happen with myself. I've seen it happen with Ahab, started paying off his mortgage with 400 followers. I saw this happen with Connor. I've worked with two Connors. First Connor had less than 2,000 followers and he made 8K in 90 days, which is fucking impressive considering he had nothing when we first started working together. Like, honestly, you don't need a big following. Frank had like less than 900 followers and he made 7.5K in the last time we did Arthur. So yeah, that's a common question I've been seeing. So let's close this out. We're going for just over an hour now. What have we got to say here? All right. I'm going to speak from a position of authority here because these are just facts. Like I said, I can't even be fucked to pretend anymore that this shit isn't transforming lives. It is. I can't be bothered to hide. That's the thing. I just can't be fucked. It's more hard work now to hide from this than it is to just do it. So this is where I'm coming from. I've taken myself from mowing lawns. Back in the day, I was stacking shelves. But like, I've taken myself from being a high school dropout, I got DDE, to mowing lawns, to hitting rock bottom, to scaling to 15K months. And I've taken people from working in the NHS with 400 followers to repaying mortgages. I've taken people from struggling businesses that they were trying to sell to 20K in less than a month and completely transforming their business and giving them completely new creative juice and creative firepower to go and grow their business into a monster. Like, it's not necessarily that I don't have to be with you all the way. It's just, how do we get the fucking fire going? How do we inject some growth into your business fast, no matter who you are, no matter where you're at? So this system works. The three-step system I told you about. So here's the next steps. If you heard this message today, you have two choices. Two choices. You can either think about it and be like, cool, I'll go and implement those 3 steps that Dan said. Cool, yeah, I'll go and start posting some content. Yeah, cool. I'll go and learn storytelling. Yeah, cool. And then you won't fucking do anything. Or you can take the next step, take a risk for once in your life, whether that's joining Arthur. If you want to join Arthur, or if you're even interested, DM me, Arthur. But even if you're not interested in joining Arthur, go and take fucking action. Go and fucking do a live stream. Go and do the thing that you've been putting off for so fucking long and make it happen. That's what I want you to do. You have two choices. Keep thinking about it, keep reading about change, keep thinking about change, keep watching YouTube videos, or go and take action, go and take a huge risk, put your money where your mouth is, and go and do something fucking meaningful. But like I said, early bird is closed for Arthur. 5 people have already enrolled. 12 spots are available. If you want to join, DM me Arthur. If you're still on the fence, I'm not even going to try and fucking convince you. Go to the link in my bio, join my newsletter. I will send out an email tomorrow when we've launched, so you'll know. And that'll be your opportunity to join. If you're on the fence right now, I'll give you a lot more information. You'll see the sales page. You'll see the whole thing. You'll see exactly what you get. And you're going to love it. This is going to close on Monday, or rather Tuesday at midnight. So as soon as it hits midnight, goes from 11:59 on Monday night to midnight, it's going to close. Doors are going to close. And I don't know when the fuck we're going to do this again. So this is really like you have a small window to literally get coached by me one-on-one. This isn't just a group thing. I am offering my one-to-one help as a part of this for people that join this. So this will never happen again. This is almost a one-off because I'm returning. So we're doing this with or without you. Your move. But yeah, this isn't for everyone. This is really, I'm only really working with men, and I'm only working with men serious about claiming their fucking sovereignty, claiming real financial freedom, because financial freedom is a buzzword that gets thrown around. It's fucking bullshit in most people's world, and people are tired of hearing it. But most people don't realize, like, I had freedom when I was a gardener, but it wasn't financial freedom. I had freedom when I turned it remote and I was working in Sri Lanka, but it wasn't really freedom. Like, I wasn't truly in control. I wasn't making money the way I wanted to work, the way I wanted to do it. This is about sovereignty. This is about freedom, sovereignty, making money the way you want to make money, living at your highest purpose, doing what God put you here to do, and to basically stop fucking around, step up. If you've got expertise, we can show you how to make that a 5, turn that into 5 to 20K. By January 2026, you will have made that money. And if you follow exactly what we say in the program, exactly what we say inside Arthur, and you turn up to the calls and you participate, there's no reason you can't walk away with 5K within 42 days, within 6 weeks. That is our goal. A few questions for you to consider before we go. Are you tired of following other people's scripts? Who here has expertise but isn't getting paid for it? What would you change if you made 10K a month next month? Those are a few questions. I have more. What story are you telling yourself about why you can't do it? Like, what story are you telling yourself right now? I can't do it. I don't have I'm not ready. I'm not qualified. I don't want to leave my job. Like, what's the story you're telling yourself right now? Become aware of it. Because if you don't become aware of it, you're just like an NPC. You're just an NPC. You need to question your own narrative. Because there's people who've done it who are dumber than you. This is the irony. People who are dumb don't even reflect on things. They don't overthink anything. So they just do things. It's incredible. And they're the people that make it. So many high school dropouts. I was one myself, but I take action. I'm an overthinker, but I became aware of my thoughts and was like, what the fuck is this bullshit narrative? You're never going to succeed like that. Question your own thoughts, especially the negative ones, and replace them with delusional self-belief. Who are you becoming versus who you're pretending to be? Most people are pretending to be someone. They're pretending to be an accountant. They're pretending to be a loving husband. They're pretending to be a loser. Like, most people, like, you are basically, whatever you are deluding yourself about is what you are. I've deluded myself that I'm an entrepreneur living in Bali who has tattoos, who does live streams, who succeeds, who actually takes action, who's like, I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm going to do a live stream because I've got to get this message out. Like, I've deluded myself into that. But I'm becoming someone new in the process. Whereas a lot of people are pretending to be an old identity which is not serving them. This is it, guys. If not now, then when? And what's more expensive? Investing in yourself or staying broke? I don't care if you join Arthur. I don't care what you choose to do. Just make a choice that leads you towards a positive future, a vision that you've created, not that has been handed to you. Please, for the love of God, please just do that. Take a fucking risk. That is my message today. Take a fucking risk and watch who you become in the process. Last question for me. I'm going to ask myself a question. What do I want every man watching this to remember most from tonight, from this? That's a good question. What do I want you to remember? Honestly, risk is a huge, I spoke about risk. If you don't make the transformation or the transition from follower to leader, you're fucked. Flat out. There's so much that goes into that. I spoke about storytelling. I spoke about having the courage to be disliked. But I honestly think one thing that leaders do is they take a risk. They take the risk. The entrepreneur takes the risk and builds the business, and everyone else follows them. You need to go first. So fucking do it. That's it. That's it for tonight. I might do this again tomorrow. I actually really enjoyed it. I went on a bit longer than I thought. I really enjoy speaking to the camera. I love the sound of my own voice. So I'll fucking do this again. It was fun. If you enjoyed this, before we go, drop a comment down below with a love heart. Drop a love heart down below. And that's it, dudes. That's it, my friends. I'll see you in the next one. Keep an eye out for tomorrow. We're launching Arthur. If you're interested, DM me Arthur. If you're not, fucking go and do something. Do something meaningful. And if you're not on my email list, you're still on the fence, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to join Arthur. That's cool. Just go and join the email list, and I will shoot you the sales page tomorrow, and then you can decide. We've got, how many people tuned in? We had 81 people on X. 81 people are watching on X right now. We've got 3 people inside this chat on Instagram right now. People have been coming in and out. I don't know how many people have come through. Probably about 40. Much bacon. Bro, DM me or watch this live stream back. I kind of explained what we're going to be doing inside Arthur when we launch tomorrow. It's for men, 12 men only. Want to keep it intimate. Want to make sure you get results. And it's my return, so I don't want to make it big. Yeah, because I'm not fucking hiding anymore. I've got a fucking crazy look in my eye because I'm on a mission. So that's it. DM me much bacon. And Austin, lots of love. Guys who are on Twitter, I don't know how many of you are there. It says 83. I don't know if 83 are watching right now, but that's fucking big. So DM me Arthur if you're interested, and let's fucking rock and roll. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Much love. We're still live on X. We just cancelled it on Instagram. So there's not going to be an encore. There's no encore here. I'm sorry. So hasta luego.